So it's my pleasure to introduce our next speaker, Professor Rajkumar, who's the George Washington Professor of Electrical and Computer Engineering. So I think it's very fitting, you know, one of the original Pittsburgh entrepreneurs, the George Westinghouse. Professor Kumar is director of Metro21. It's the Center for Problem-Driven Research for 21st Century Metro Solutions. Raj.
Thank you, Lenore. It's a pleasure to be here. So I am not speaking as an entrepreneur today. I'm not talking about a startup today. Right? What I'm going to be talking about is Metro21. It's a campus-wide initiative at Carnegie Mellon, which I hope or expect a few years down the road would have been basically a platform for launching multiple startups. So let me introduce Metro21 then. So it's basically an initiative that spans the campus at Carnegie Mellon, looking for solutions that apply to metropolitan regions that solve problems of the 21st century. Right? And so I guess the website is metro21.cmu.edu because it's campus-wide, not associated with any particular college at CMU. So the vision for Metro21 is the following. We want to significantly improve the metropolitan quality of life using the interplay between technologies and policies. So it's truly multidisciplinary. And the outcome that we are seeking is connected and intelligent communities. Technology on one side, policy on the other side, actually has stirred them together, and basically the end result is that happy communities. Why are we talking about metropolitan regions? Turns out that just a few years back, for the very first time in human history, more than 50% of the human population started living in urban areas. In the US, we crossed the threshold a long time back, and today the fraction is more than like 80% of the US population lives in urban areas, and then globally as well as in the US, these numbers are only expected to increase. So the way we look at a metropolitan region is that it is a system of systems. What do we mean by systems in this case? Think of roads, right? So your transportation network within a metro region, the water system, the sewage system, the gas utility, electricity, health, safety, air quality, and the list goes on and on, including, for example, other things like telephony, cable, law enforcement, and so on. These are all operated as structured and operated as independent silos. Right? And each one basically has its own revenue model. Your transportation network, roads are basically paid for by your tax dollars. That's a common pool, if you will. Water and sewer, most places you basically pay a monthly bill based on the usage of those utilities. Right? Same applies to gas and electricity, except that water and sewer may actually come from your municipality, but electricity and gas you could be paying a private company, for example. Right? And health and safety, I guess, mixture of private and public. Air quality, not clear that anybody even cares about it. Not clear. So yeah, basically, and then from an operational perspective, not just the private and the public. If you just take the public sector itself, basically there are different agencies at the municipality level, maybe at the county level, at the regional level, at the state level, and so on. And so these are actually extremely independent, pretty much siloed. Right? So the objective of Metro21 is that can we actually take these independent silos and then transform this myriad collection into a set of coordinated and globally optimized macro systems. So we think the potential for doing this actually is extremely high. So the goal basically that we pose for ourselves is basically, hey, as you like to say in Silicon Valley, you got to eat your own dog food. Right? So basically we want to put our home metro on the world map as basically as being inherently a knowledge-powered society, if you will, as community. So as I mentioned earlier, this is a campus-wide initiative spanning 5 different colleges of the 7 colleges on campus, the College of Engineering, Computer Science, the Hine College of Public Policy and Information Systems, the Dietrich College of Humanities and Social Sciences, and the College of Fine Arts. And we also have a bunch of institutes across campus ranging from Traffic 21, USDOT, National University Transportation Center, and the Energy Institute that we have on campus. Right? So basically, I guess the obligatory multi-logo slide as well. So this is the way we look at it. I guess there are problems that every metro faces. It turns out that these problems are very common and very shared, not just across cities in the US alone, cities across the world. So I guess the statistic that I like to cite is that in China, there are more than 100 cities with a population of more than 1 million each. All these cities have similar problems with respect to congestion, pollution, any water breakage, for example, affects transportation and the like. And then at CMU, of course, we take a lot of pride in basically being multidisciplinary, spanning a wide range of domains. So we think that a subset of CMU expertise can actually help address a subset of the metro problems, right? Over time, of course, we expect CMU expertise to broaden, right? And we expect to basically that overlap between metropolitan CMU expertise to actually broaden as well. Right? So basically what we look to do basically is that conduct research, develop some solutions to these problems, and actually end up deploying them in the real world as well. So the buzzword that we like to use is that so if you're doing R&D, we want to do R&D and D, research and development and deployment, working through partnerships at various levels of operations. So this is actually a Grand Street. Those of you in Pittsburgh would know this. This is actually a major arterial road in downtown Pittsburgh, where basically the city government and the county government basically has their offices. There's a county court and so on. So I guess across Grand Street, you'll see sewer lines, gas lines, electric lines, steam heat, subways going through TV, cable, telephony, water, and storm water. So any disruption to any of these systems will basically manifest itself across all these other systems as well, right? So we're actually working very closely with the city. Specifically, we have a very close working relationship with the chief of innovation policy within the city of Pittsburgh. So basically, there's lots of underground infrastructure buried that you don't see, but can cause lots of problems. We are currently funding or working with a bunch of projects. They are categorized here: transportation infrastructure, including connected automation. Some of you may or may not know this. We are actually a hotbed of autonomous vehicles. We've been that for a long time. We consider ourselves to be a birthplace of autonomous driving technology. In 2014, we literally celebrated the 30th birthday of working on that technology at Carnegie Mellon. So we want to leverage that. You'll shortly hear a talk from Dr. Greg Barlow about traffic. We are doing a whole bunch of infrastructure monitoring. For example, tracking snow accumulation removal, which you don't worry about here, but we have to worry about that in Pittsburgh. Water runoff problems of all kinds. On the environmental side, air quality monitoring, I guess tracking heat islands, the air settles down in pockets of the metropolitan region of Pittsburgh, trying to basically track rat infestation, where weeds are overgrown and where illegal dumping happens and so on. On the safety side, we are actually working with multiple law enforcement agencies about aiding them, assisting them, is basically trying to even predict where crimes could happen, where the hotspots are, right, so that they can actually very intelligently reallocate their police officers. We actually, right now, the city of Pittsburgh is looking to replace about 40,000 street lights with LED bulbs, which saves energy, of course. But while you're doing this, might as well actually add a whole bunch of sensors in there that's actually ongoing as we speak. On the energy front, we are looking at energy efficient buildings, electrification conversion, I guess converting internal combustion engines to electric vehicles, looking at alternative energy sources, working with the Energy Institute on campus. With respect to citizens, we actually have a website called eDigs, where basically if you're looking for a rental place, you can actually download this eDigs app on your phone and customize it to your heart's content, likely give you back candidates for apartments that actually fit your budget, your preferences and such. There's an application called Park PGH. Before even you go to downtown, you can basically find where the empty spots are. We are looking at basically trying to do something similar with the airport in Pittsburgh. We are looking to basically incorporate fine-grained localization technologies within the Pittsburgh Convention Center. A whole bunch of information services are actually becoming available, including, for example, how crowded is the bus that you're waiting for. Is it running behind or not? So basically, if the bus is way behind and the bus is already full, why are you just standing there on the bus stop? Might as well start walking home. We are doing a whole bunch of community outreach. Specifically, we are looking at how we can actually help and assist disadvantaged neighborhoods. Pittsburgh basically is a collection of all sorts of problems, modern problems, old problems, equality problems. We have technology and we have neighborhoods with no technology and so on. So we are looking at one particular site called Almano in Hazelwood. a high-profile real estate area close to downtown, but actually it's a brownfield because of dead steel mills and such. We are basically that neighborhood has deteriorated over time, trying to see how we can actually bring additional access to transportation and job opportunities to that neighborhood, which is fairly close to Carnegie Mellon, it turns out, in Pittsburgh. So let me, I guess, highlight one competition that's ongoing right now. The U.S. Department of Transportation actually announced this so-called Smart City Challenge late last year. The objective is that one city at the end of the day would actually win more than $50 million, $40 million from the department, $10 million from Paul Allen's Vulcan nonprofit foundation, and then a bunch of in-kind and other cash from a bunch of other partners like Mobileye and NXP Semiconductors. 78 cities across the country actually applied, and Pittsburgh was chosen to be one of the 7 finalists. The final proposal literally actually went in yesterday. It just turns out actually coincidentally or providentially that there's a significant amount of overlap between the elements of the competition and the goals of Metro21. Metro21 has been going on for about a year and a half now. So that is Metro21. Just to give you a quick idea of what Metro21 is, I want to talk about sister activities that is going on, which is independent of Metro21, but there's clear relationship, called the Metro Lab Network. Okay. Metro21 is a CMU initiative. Metro Lab Network is something else. It turns out that this is a network that was launched by the Office of Science, Technology, and Policy, which is actually an arm of the White House. This was launched about a year back with funding from OSTP, but we at CME, we are the fiduciary responsible for managing those funds. So it is actually an entity with location, which is located in Washington, DC. Turns out that there are right now 34 members. Each member is actually a university working with the local city, trying to basically solve problems together. So it's a recently launched network, basically working with city decision makers. Just last 2 weeks back, there was a summit in San Diego. We're trying to basically promote a network of creative people as well as cities who actually will be customers of this technology. So we're trying to promote partnerships, scale successful solutions, and developing a multi-city living lab. With that, I'll close and then pass the baton back to Dave. Thank you.